Hi, how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Hey, by applause, I want to know how many providers do we have here tonight? How many consumers? Hey guys, lock the doors. I am highly allergic to nuts, so I had to be really careful coming to the show today. The other comics, they prepared by rehearsing their acts. I prepared by taking Benadryl so I don't go into anaphylactic shock. I've had depression all my life. At one point, I wasn't doing too well, so my therapist said, go to the ER. The ER said, go home, you look fine. That's because, or you look fine, right? That's because I hide things really well, like my thoughts, my feelings, and other people's wallets. In the end, they admitted me. It was a complete shock. They took my shoelaces, the string to my pants, and my belief in they knew what they were doing. They also took my cell phone, and that was the last straw, because I don't go more than 3 hours without playing Angry Birds. They also pumped me full of drugs, made me incoherent for a day and a half. I said, I don't want those drugs anymore. Next time, give me drugs that make me hallucinate too. They kept me for 6 days and wanted me to stay longer, but I said no. And they couldn't keep me because I had admitted myself voluntarily. At that point, I realized volunteering is a good thing. In the hospital, I went to groups where we talked about anger, fear, boundaries, and positive people to be around, which completely eliminated the staff. Being in the groups answered a lot of questions for me, like who am I, what do I want out of life, and how to get rid of unwanted nose hair. I also learned that I had choices. I could choose how to live my life, I could choose who I wanted in my life, and I could choose whether to get my shampoo at Walmart or Costco. I was married for 20 years. And my husband and I got divorced on my birthday, and I told him, that is the best present you ever gave me. The second best was on our 10th anniversary. He gave me an easy-bake oven. A lot of service providers believe that people with mental illness are incapable, and we are incapable of putting up with their crap. If we have a job, they think we don't have a mental illness. I actually had someone say, you don't count. And I am thinking about those people who are really sick. And I'm thinking, sir, you seem to fit the bill. A lot of providers think that if you've got a mental illness, you can't function without a case manager, a PSR worker, a psychiatrist, a therapist, a social worker, a toenail specialist, a belly button lint practitioner, a coffee ordering professional, and a shoe tying consultant. But that's ridiculous. Who needs a psychiatrist? One problem with the mental health system is that some consumers are so dependent on their providers that they feel like they can't do anything on their own, like making doctor's appointments, calling a cab, robbing a bank. Hey, come on. Who better to help you drive the getaway car than your PSR worker? Hey, Joe, can you pick me up at 2 at the Wells Fargo? Providers need to teach consumers to be independent. By all means, teach them to ride the public transportation, but you don't have to take the bus with them. It works better if you follow them in the van, so when they get off, you can take them where they really need to go. Here's what I'd like to tell providers. The proverb that says, give a man a fish and you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for a lifetime. But if you get him an order of fish and chips, you'll give him high cholesterol. And then he'll need that doctor's appointment that you have to make for him. Then again, there's another chance to ride the bus. And those are billable hours. But I'm against making consumers dependent on their service providers. I'd much rather make them dependent on me, because I need a job too. I think that in terms of mental health, Idaho is a little behind other places. I can understand when we use medication, but it goes a little far when the first line of treatment is a frontal lobotomy. In Idaho, the system tends to overreact. My friend needed help for her son who was in crisis, so she called 911. And they sent the SWAT team with guns drawn. So now on top of his depression, he has PTSD. But hey, there's more billable hours. And once a neighbor was suicidal, so they not only sent the SWAT team to his place, but they also had the police with guns in our backyard telling us to stay in the house. And I agree, because I can handle suicide, but I'm terrified of trigger-happy cops. But sending in the SWAT team to deal with a mental health issue is a bit overkill. What's next? A predator drone strike? Thank you.